Hey, Facebook friends, Alex here with
Brandon.
And we're giving you our virtual hard hat tour today. This is our, what do we say, fourth episode. And if you are just joining us for the very first time, we have switched over to virtual hard hat tours instead of our in-person tours. And so you'd have to go back and see episode 1 if you want to get the whole backstory on everything else. So the last couple of weeks we've just been showcasing what's new and what's different from the previous week. So it's kind of forcing everybody to go back and watch all of the episodes to stay up to date. So it's Brandon and I tonight. We see multiple people here logging in, joining us. If you've joined us for the previous weeks, you know we encourage lots of interaction. So if you have questions as we go along, make sure you type those below and we'll try and answer those as we go along. If you want to just say hi, give us a wave, you can do that as well. At the end of this, we'll post this on our Facebook page, but we also then put this on our YouTube page. So we'd love for you to share this with as many people as you can. And we'll get started here. So why don't we have Brandon show us what he just started working on today. Let me turn the camera around.
So for those that have been with us before or just don't know, this door located in the lobby is the original phone booth. So when the theater opened in 1929, there would have been a phone in here. Up until recently, it was all of our water bottle storage, a little bit of HR thrown in here.
All of that somehow fit in this tiny little closet.
Tetris is my favorite game.
Yeah.
So when this expansion comes online, this will become a front of house closet. So volunteers that may be watching, or donation bins that we've been using, radios will be relocated up front here. Our AED, bullhorn, first aid, all of that will have a central location to live once this expansion comes online. It's no longer, okay, this fits here, so that's where it's going to go. Everything for front of house will have an actual dedicated space.
So since last Tuesday, we've poured some concrete. I'll let Brandon be the Vanna White here and show. So to give you a little perspective, so that's the main lobby there looking out towards the front doors. And if you remember, this wall here used to have 2 drinking fountains on it, and there was a little door there. Great pantomime. And this went down to our old mechanical basement. So this has gotten covered up. Concrete got poured last week and starting to frame up the doorway and everything. This will get a pair of doors on there, and that goes back into the storage room. Since we're kind of this way, do you want to meander downstairs and show those improvements in the last week? I guess I'll show here real quick in the prep kitchen. Not a whole lot has changed here other than we're starting to get some of the permanent lighting is coming online, so that's really exciting for us. Switching from the temporary construction, bright bluish lighting to actually nice finished permanent lighting. So exciting for that. Also today they started installing some of the plumbing connections here in the prep kitchen. So excited to start finishing off this room. But we'll let Brandon open up our temporary construction door to the outside here. And the big reveal on what else we've done here in the last week. So this is some new concrete that's been poured. This is outside the new entrance to the addition. So where Brandon is at there, this will be a new double set of doors and with some windows on either side. And this is where we're going to get our deliveries. Talk about some of the stuff that's going to come in through this door.
Yeah, so Coke delivers once a month, so we don't have to take that in through the lobby, through the historic floor any longer. We'll be able to accept that delivery still from 2nd Street, as well as our weekly concessions from Gold Medal. That'll all be able to come through this space here. So we're really trying to focus on taking stuff off of that historic lobby floor that is so beautiful and wonderful. And we'll be able to take it into this dedicated space where most of that will end up living anyway.
So, and if those of you that have watched our Facebook Lives from months and months ago, we talked about the height difference between the addition and the alley, so that's why we ended up with some stairs here. The alley is higher than the addition here, which matches up with the inside lobby. And so we've got some topsoil that started coming in. This will get a nice wide sidewalk that's going to go all the way out to 2nd Street. And as Brandon said, this is where we'll end up getting our deliveries in. So we'll step out here for a quick second and look back so you can kind of gauge where we're at. So again, that's the front of the theater, the beautiful marquee there, and this is looking back to the addition. So I'll head back inside here. Again, if you've got any questions at all, go ahead and comment below. I'll let Brandon lead the way down to the basement. Some big changes in the basement just today. So we're down in the basement of the addition, and dun da da da. The beer cooler got installed this morning. Very exciting.
Cool.
Yeah, get all the chili puns out. So we don't have light hooked up in here yet, but plenty of room for activities in here. This is where all the beer kegs will go, and then this will get connected up to the 1st and 2nd floor concession stands. So it gives you a little idea of how tight this is down here. I'll let everybody wonder how in the world did they get this big box down the stairs. Little hint, it came in pieces, but they got it put together in about an hour and a half. So there's Janine chiming in, trying to get all of her cool puns in.
Oh, goodness.
So the race is on, Brandon.
So we definitely want to hear from you guys, what you think we're going to offer, what you want us to offer. We'll try and incorporate what we can. I can tell you, though, that we're looking local as much as we can. We're obviously going to have the major hard hitters that we know sell well, but definitely want to try and include something local, all in beer, liquor, wine, if we can. We'd love to use local flavor, and now we can officially do that.
Alrighty, so let's head upstairs here. There's nothing really else down in the basement here that I think is new and different. So we'll head up the stairs here. Since Brandon's going to be leading the way on our beer selections, our new beer taps will have 4 options. So how about comment below and let us know, any beer drinkers out there, what your favorite beer might be, and who knows, that may be on tap. So we'll take a little informal survey and see if people can let us know. So comment below if you've got a favorite beer, and we'll see if we can get that added. So we are back up on the 1st floor. Again, some major changes up here from even just a couple weeks ago. If you haven't seen, this is where the concession stand used to be just a couple weeks ago. It is now gone. They have framed up the new concession stand, the back wall. You can see all of the conduit in there, plumbing. And then Brandon, why don't you explain what the plywood is we're seeing up here?
Yeah, so with this expansion, we're able to move forward with digital signage. So when we open back up, all of the menus will be TV displays. So it'll give us some flexibility, leniency, and for every touring show we bring in, we'd like to have a specialty drink to go along with that show. So having TVs will allow us to interchange what we're offering. When the show starts, we can flash, upcoming shows on these, but it's a big upgrade from what we had currently. If we wanted to, for smaller shows, we could have One line just be a bar, and the other 3 lines could be concessions. So it gives us flexibility to do different things with the 4 point of sales that we'll have down here.
Huge improvement over what we had before. We only had 2 before. Going to be increasing to 4 serving lines here at the new concession stand. So we are thrilled for that. This back lobby area, we'll let Brandon kind of go in motion where the women's restroom used to be and where the men's restroom used to be.
So I would be walking in the women's restroom. We kind of turn the corner. The women's sink wall used to be here. We have picked up all of this space as additional concession. You see here that's another menu board. So concessions extends out another 5 or 6 feet. But then you have your toilets here. And anybody that's been here in the last 6 months or so knows that this opening in the women's restroom is what grants you access to the new restrooms.
Men probably haven't seen that.
Men have not seen it, so only women have seen this. And then back down here, where the scaffolding is where you enter the men's restroom. You come around the corner, and then I'm standing in where the toilets and urinals used to be. We did decide, this is an original window from 1929. We decided to leave that one in. And in taking some of the walls down, we noticed that there must have been another window here that got taken out at some point.
I was hiding behind the men's mirror in the wall. So we've found all sorts of bizarre things, including some old paint colors. Some good, some not so great. This is just a quick sampling of some of the old paint colors that we found behind some of the walls that were taken down. So it's kind of interesting to see all of the different iterations. So the most exciting part on the first floor, we'll let Brandon lead the way here. This is the new restroom vestibule. We've got 2 new drinking fountains here, and then as you walk in, dun da da da, we have light.
Real light.
So it's going to be really hard to tell through Facebook Live what the actual lighting levels are, just because it's hard for cameras to kind of compensate for that. Oh, that looks a little bit better. But the beautiful sconces in here are up and running. We've talked about over the last number of Facebook Lives how we're going to have additional lighting behind the stalls here. So we'll let Brandon go into one of the stalls here, pick your favorite one. So you can see the lights back there, just a nice, really soft light that helps fill in this whole area. So we've got 7 stalls on this side, bank of sinks, and then another 7 stalls on this side with more lighting and the sconces here. So really exciting to start having lights coming on, as well as these little vanity stations with some more sconces there. So it was a big day when we started getting power in here. Do you want to demonstrate the new hand dryers over on this side? Those have power as well.
So as we're all washing our hands raw for 20 seconds every time, I'm not going to actually do it right now, but you get the point, and then...
We've been blown away at how cool they are.
Oh, man. We can tell you from using them earlier that there is no splashback on your person. You're dripping very, very little water on the floor, and the dry time is dry.
Faster than the amount of time you need to wash your hands.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's very true.
All right, so let's head into the men's restroom, which is just on the other side of the vestibule here. Let there be light. So as much as I love the sconces in the women's restroom, I actually really love these in the men's. I knew they were going to be cool, but they really work with the design in here, with all the Art Deco design throughout here, the tile work and everything. So really exciting to get final lights in here. As you can see, the toilet partitions are still going in. We still need to get the doors and everything else hung here. But coming along, not a whole lot else different on the first floor bathrooms other than we're getting permanent lighting starting to be turned on. So it's the little things that get us excited. So let's head to the second floor. Anything else here on the first floor? Any questions from all of you watching before we elevate this conversation and head to the second floor? No? No? We've got Dan watching, our board president. He's appreciates the puns, so we'll try and keep those rolling along.
So all throughout this project, we've really been focused on going green where we can, where possible. So trying to use energy efficient lighting, energy efficient toilet fixtures. Anywhere we could use an energy efficient product, we tried to incorporate that. Something we just did this afternoon as we prepare for the transition, the chandelier in the main lobby. So Alex and I went up in a skylift this afternoon and took out all of the glass panels very carefully.
Very carefully.
Being that if you took out 3 from one side, it might start to wobble a little bit, so you had to take out 3 from the other side. So there's, believe it or not, 34 light bulbs in that fixture. So that was 34 incandescent light bulbs that we can now switch over to LED. We did make that switch with our can lights not too recently in this space, and now can move forward with doing the chandelier as well.
Really bright idea. Speaking of bright, we are in the expanded foyer, and another space that we're starting to get the permanent lights on. So we've got a couple of different things here around the edges, which is probably going to have some lens flare and be pretty bright on the camera here. But these are some wall wash LED fixtures that we're hoping to display archives as well as artwork up here when we have different art exhibits. This is going to be some awesome lighting to be able to light up the walls there. Again, being LED allows us to have a lot of light without heating up the space. So since we're adding air conditioning to all these spaces, really helps with the energy efficiency by not making sure that we're not adding a ton of heat to these areas. So we've got those wall washes as well as some new can lights that will help light up. And one of the things that's going to take a little while to get installed is new cove lighting. So we're going to have new ornamental plaster cove to match out in the mezzanine area. That will go around the perimeter of the ceiling, and then there'll be recessed LED lighting in there. So a lot of different lighting in this area that will give us a lot of flexibility. And then if you saw the short little Facebook Live did, last Tuesday, this opening here was open for a couple of hours, and we gave a little sneak peek as to what that view is going to be once we get the permanent window in there. So go back and watch that previous Facebook Live and you'll see what that view looked like. I want you to show us just real quick concessions layout up here, back storage room.
Yeah. So these are a hot and cold water line that will be behind the concessions counter. So I'm basically standing where concessions will live. This space up here alone will have 2 point of sale, which is all we have in the building now. So if we can do it now with 2 point of sale, imagine what we can do with 6. But there'll be a popcorn machine up here as well. There'll be one draft beer system that both POS share. We will offer exactly what we offer on the main floor up here. Over here we'll have refrigerated storage as well as cabinet storage for the oodles of stuff that we have that we are finding. Where did we put it before the expansion? It's dark back here. Is there a light?
Hit the button on your left.
Look at that. The little things, like light switches. So this will become, again, another storage area for us. I want to say this is more space than I have for front of house stuff now as it is, that I don't have to share with someone else. But back here we'll keep a couple tables, a fridge. We have very easy, after having gone on the roof today, very easy roof access. So eventually at some point when we are doing enough shows through the summer months, we'll add an additional ice maker up here. But for now, this is extra storage space, which is much needed.
Yes. So Roxanne asked about archives. Will we be using the current display cases? So we're hoping through all of this not only to continue using our display cases downstairs. We have the main big one that we've had some old stuff in, some other display cases up here, but also in this expanded foyer is just going to allow for that much more space to showcase all of the stuff that we've had. We actually have a lot of really cool stuff that we've had framed, old newspaper articles, old posters, photographs. We have a lot of really cool archives that we've never really had a good spot to display them. So we're really excited to be able to put more of that on display. We also have, through the years, as we've had different famous artists here, we always have them sign posters. So we've got some really cool posters from past celebrities that we also want to get on display and really showcase the history here. So great question. If anybody else has questions, make sure you type them below.
So our intent of using this space for archives, right now when we have shows, we don't open the mezzanine space. Our intent when this is all done is to be able to keep the mezzanine open, keep this expanded foyer open, to allow for patrons to A, see the finished product, because I know that we're all excited, but B, to really showcase our archives when we don't have art shows in here. So that gives us the ability to do that.
Yeah. Alrighty, so let's head out back to the mezzanine here. I'm going to flip this around so we can follow Brandon. So the old existing restrooms up here, the women's with 2 stalls and the men's with 1 stall, 1 urinal. For 550 seats in the balcony, you do the math, has not been enough, as we all know. So this is our entrance into the new restroom vestibule on the 2nd floor. And why don't you tell us what they've gotten done in the last week? A lot of it just happening today.
Yeah. So countertops got installed on the 2nd floor. So it's only a matter of time now before sinks go in.
And we got power up here. So we have some of the can lights on. The linear light behind there. So we don't have any of the toilet partitions installed up here yet. So it made it super easy to put up that really long light. That's installed and ready for toilet partitions up here. These countertops are absolutely gorgeous. Give kind of a close up there. But the men's I'm probably most excited about. So right next door, the new men's restroom, pretty much same design as downstairs. Even through all the dust, you can hopefully appreciate some of the shimmering in there. There are basically kind of like silver specks. Really cool. Can't wait for you guys to see this. So they got the countertop installed in here. The sconces I mentioned I love downstairs, those are in, so we're going to get the mirror in next. And then the urinal dividers got installed as well today. Those just went in. And again, Brandon, if you want to point out the kind of extra feature. Oh, I guess phone holder, but drink ledge or cell phone ledge. Above all the urinals here. Really excited about that additional feature. More light on here. We've been dealing with temporary construction lighting for months and months and months, so we're like obsessed with this. It's like seeing a squirrel or just a dog staring out the window.
Yeah, we don't look like we're in a coal mine anymore.
Yeah. So those are the updates for just the last week. It's always exciting to see how much progress is made from week to week. And yeah, some more tile here. So this is drinking fountains on the second floor. And we've got some new tile there. And light should work in the new little housekeeping room here. Da, 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 da. Doesn't look very big, but to us, this is glorious. Ton of space.
Yeah, so with this, the closet up here right now is in the men's restroom. So if there's something that happens that we need a female volunteer or a female staff member to help us out with, we have to go into the men's restroom to get it. This solves that issue. It also gives us a mop sink up here, which after this is all done, we will have 2 of these in the building. We went from 0 to 2. So that'll make cleaning at the end of the night so much easier. And then we also have a utility sink. It's the little things, like electricity, sinks.
Electricity and running water.
Yeah.
It's the little things that we really appreciate. So. Alrighty, so we're going to be wrapping up here. Those are the updates for this week. Episode 4. I wish I could give some cliffhangers for episode 5, but I can't remember what's going to be happening here in the next week. Other than lots of exciting updates every single week, and you can follow along. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Through all of this, we're trying to keep that updated, bring you lots of stuff, Instagram stories. And we want to hear from you. So if you have questions, feel free to comment on this. We'll be watching comments over the next couple of days. So if you have questions about this video, we'll make sure to hop on and answer those. And we'll be back again next Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. for another virtual hard hat tour to bring you the updates of what's taken place in just the last week. And you can follow all of this progress online at lightscameradonate.org. We, as a nonprofit, are relying on the community support to make this project possible. We are so excited to be over the $4 million mark so far in funds that have been raised through the community. This total project is about $5.5 million, so we are well on our way to meeting that goal, but we need your help to get us across the finish line, and you can do that by making a donation online or mailing one in. So no donation is too small or too big, as we always like to say, and thank you so much for so many of you that have supported this project so far. I'm just watching some of the folks that are watching live with us. We know many of you have already donated to this project, so we thank you so much. The community thanks you. We have over 40,000 people a year that come through these doors, and you think about the 90 years of history here, that is a lot of people that have a lot of amazing memories, and we want to make sure that we provide that for another 90 years. Right. So we're doing our best to make the most of, as we keep saying, this rotten situation with what's going on in the world right now. So since we can't be open and having shows, we are moving forward with construction, and so excited to be able to keep showing you the progress. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next Tuesday at 5:30 p.m.
Have a good week.
Bye.